showing you my FileMaker Pro database of Free People's camps. I'm going to show you for Corinth, Mississippi. This is the main card. It's on the layout called Record Detail. You can view the whole database in is this form view that shows each individual card. You can show it in list view, which shows the cards where in order where you can scroll through them like this and just keep going. Coming back at Corinth by clicking on form view. You can also look at the information in a spreadsheet. So the same information, it's just organized into a spreadsheet. It's also very easy to download this as a CSV, and then you can convert it to a KML or different kinds of files that are readable by different mapping software. So if we go back to the form view, we can see this is the main card, the main record detail. It has these tabs. Camp profile is the main tab. Then it has attached documents, attached images, source notes, and Black voices. The camp profile, I put the camp name, the location, superintendent or aid workers who are relevant. This is also a good way to find information in National Archives or the Freedmen and Southern Society project. You can look up J.M. Alexander, for example. Sometimes there's a general here, John Eaton, of course. We have a population field and then a detailed population field. There's also census data that shows the Black population and the Black growth rate from 1860 to 1870 and in that county, and then it'll say the total population, county population down here. County name, latitude, longitude of region that is my own designation. And then here the camp description is meant to synthesize the information from Freedmen Southern Society project, from the you can see the primary sources right here. John Eaton enlistment data, from here's some secondary sources, and I put this together with, and I've had some research assistants in the summer here and there who've also helped me, especially because we've changed the name of the people who are involved many times. Slaves, former slaves, enslaved people, Black refugees, freed people. So that's been one of our major tasks. The one thing I will say too is that this is still very structural data. These camp descriptions really give it far more from the Union point of view than I would like. I get more information all the time, but I am oftentimes adding it on. For example, I write a lot in my manuscript about Black rituals, praying and singing. Well, here's that kind of secondary, observer's voice from John Eaton, but we don't get much of on the ground point of view. But I have added Black voices. These are from the WPA interviews in the 1930s, and so when I find where somebody's talking about Corinth in the context of wartime emancipation, I've included it here. So, and I haven't standardized some of the interviews that are in dialect. That's on the to-do list as well. We can talk about standardization later. So far, after a lot of workshopping, I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to standardize, but put an appendix or an asterisk where you can see the original transcriptions if it was transcribed in dialect. I will also show you the source notes. This is relatively new, but I had this kind of mega doc, this kind of compiled document of all the different notes I've taken on primary, secondary sources. And I decided to start putting them, they're mostly secondary sources, but start putting them in the database itself as a kind of, one for just organizational reasons, and then also as a kind of orientation for those who are interested in seeing a kind of bullet pointed form, like what that granular data is. The images and the documents, this is where the relational database comes in, because I have this database set up so that I can organize this through documents and through images. And I'll show you that in a second. But I do have pop-ups for these. This took forever. I can't even tell you. But there are document pop-ups, so you can see, and I can also show you that. Oh, yep, there we go. Okay. I think I'm gonna just keep recording, because I want you to know all of the pain that goes into maintaining a database like this. So the pain started as soon as Acrobat went to a subscription service. I have to sign in every time and give them permission every time I want to show a document. Let's see if it will remember. It did remember me. And now it also has formatted it so you can see it and I don't have to scroll. But because Adobe Acrobat Pro keeps changing, the database has also had to adjust. So that has been a challenge. But what you can see here is the original document, oftentimes transcribed, sometimes not, sometimes it's just the original cursive. You can also see that anything that's in RTF, or rich text format, or in Word document format is not previewable. So those have to be converted to PDFs. I also have transcriptions here that are not my transcriptions. This is from the published works from the Freedmen and Southern Society project. So this is the Wartime Genesis of Free Labor. This has the John Eaton interrogatory report. So I want this to be attached, but I don't know if it violates copyright to have it from that volume or not. It's in the National Archives, but of course it was republished in this by Cambridge through the Freedmen and Southern Society project. So that might be something I have to change as well, I would imagine. This I transcribed myself from the original in the National Archives. So this is tabulated items and gendered population. And so if you can see too, you can actually, nope, there we go. What I was trying to do there was make my cursor be able to zoom in by using the scroll function on my mouse, but that was too much for the program to handle. So at any rate, you can also see some extra metadata, primary sources, secondary sources, links of interest, see Last Road to Freedom, MPS files here. I have other notes that I may have put in here, tags, for example. I'll show you here what it looks like if I do it by documents. So this is the document database. And so this is how a relational database can be dynamic, because you've created all kinds of source spaces, or new source spaces, that you no longer have to view through camps. You can now view them through the documents. So for instance, if you wanted to look at court martials, you could search through court martials. You can always do that through the find function. Court, let's just do court, and then oh, there's only one. Oh, there you go. But you get to see a little bit more of what is available, what kind of images or documents are there, and let's see, and it seems also that not every format has translated over, but here you can see all of the PNG, TIFF, and JPEG files, and you can look at those images and look at a database of images that is not organized by camp, but by those images, and then has the camp information attached to that as well. All right, I'm going to end this video and get back to the presentation.